Hey YouTube, this is The Art of Prepping. Dr. Joel Wallach over there at criticalhealthnews.com. He has great articles and he has great commentaries on the various radio stations across America and throughout various countries. Actually, he travels extensively. Actually, he travels almost every day. And it's like his life mission to pass on knowledge about health and nutrition. And I just wanted to share his findings over all these decades of the Optimum diet. It's not a fad diet. It's just basically an outline of what foods are better for humans than others. So we're going to do the better foods today, like the top foods, and then the next video we'll do the foods you should probably avoid. So first of all, we'll start with eggs. He's a big fan of eggs. The protein in eggs is the most bioavailable and absorbable of all the proteins. It's the highest quality for humans. So eggs. Just when you cook it though, try to use the lowest heat possible in any form that you use it. You definitely don't want to overcook your eggs. Not only do you break down the mineral content and the vitamins, but also the protein. The next category would be fish, chicken, pork and lamb. Once again, try to cook on the lowest heat settings and to always have a barrier. If you're using it on a grill, you don't want to ever cook anything directly on the grill because the grill can put off toxins depending on what your fuel source is, and you don't want that in your food. Now, beef, it's definitely not a problem to eat actually meat. Just eat it in moderation for sure. And if you do have like red meat, you want to cook it rare or medium rare, according to Dr. Wallach, just because of what happens to the meat when you cook it too much. There's actually aspects of it that can be carcinogenic. The next category would be salted nuts. In general, they're good. They're not really a problem at all. But when it comes to peanuts, though, just because of the large amount of phytates in it, actually cancel out and absorb or bind with a lot of your plant-based minerals. So you have to be very careful. Maybe a small amount isn't going to hurt if you have some dried, roasted peanuts, but you don't want to do too much, just like you wouldn't want to do any peanut butter at all, because of the oils, but we'll get to that in our next list, in our next video. You definitely would want to go with like, beans, any kind of beans and peas. They all work just fine. And rice, millet, couscous. We have non-GMO corn. We also have quinoa. We have red wine and green tea to drink. And of course, among other things, you definitely want to have an appropriate amount of water, very good filtered water. You want to salt your foods to taste. Nut butters are fine. But just be aware, though, that if they have any added oils and basically, though, these things can go rancid very fast because once this is exposed to air, the oxygen in the air can oxidize it and make it rancid. So you got to be very careful with that. Lard and butter are actually decent for you. They're not like bad foods. It's a misconception about how we have heart disease. It's not because of fat and cholesterol. Those are actually essential things that we need. Cholesterol is an essential nutrient. Major parts of our body are made up of cholesterol, and our brains are fat. So this is all a misconception. What we do need, though, is these amino acids and these good fatty acids that are in these products. And so these are not a problem. What causes actual health problems, especially like heart disease, is the inflammation of the vascular system. And this inflammation comes from a lot of other things, but definitely doesn't come from cholesterol or fat. And so veggies and fruits are obviously always very good to have. And in terms of oils, those kind of inflammations are sources of inflammation, and other types of things like sugar and other types of other inflammatories are more of the key cause for a lot of health disease problems, especially like heart disease. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Stay tuned to the next edition when we talk about Dr. Joel Wallach from Critical Health News', basically foods to avoid. And it's good to know about this stuff. So thanks a lot.